I'm Beverly McNeil, and it's just great to see all you beautiful faces. It's been a long year, hasn't it? So we're so happy to have y'all here. And we have some people online as well, so we invite them to enjoy Barbara and her teaching. Next month, we're going to have Laura Murphy, and Laura is here, and the date is the third Thursday. Where's Laura? There's Laura. If you haven't signed up, a lot of y'all are going to sign up all 3 luncheon nights, and that's one. So, but today we're all here to see Barbara Davis, and I know you're all huge fans of her work as I am. And Barbara grew up in Montgomery, then she went to Auburn, got a fine arts degree in Auburn. She's been painting since she was 14 years old, so she's been doing it for a little while. And she did portraits for a while, for about 15 years solely, and then got into clinic painting. Studied under, I'm sure some of y'all know Roger Dale Brown out of Nashville, and Harry Austin, some time, just both great painters and great teachers. And she's been just going great guns since, and I didn't see her. Oh, you're standing right there. And her husband John is fantastic. Well, you know, we're invited too, so y'all have been in for it, you're welcome to get them to come. So, Barbara's images and paintings speak for themselves, and it's beautifully done, and the freshness is always there. I'm just loving these little beads. They're so fun. So, all right, well, this is what we're here for, Barbara. Take over.
All right. Thank you all so much. I am so happy to be here. It's nice to get out and see people and do our art being taught. But thank you so much for coming. So much art. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Beverly. I just love being in this gallery. It is wonderful, and I love all these artists here. So y'all look around. There's some beautiful paintings here. I thought today what I would do is paint a skyscape. And I know I hope this. I'm trying to choose a canvas that was big enough for y'all to see and small enough for me to kind of get some work on it. I find more and more when I paint a skyscape. I've got tons of photographs, big and small, of different skies, and so it won't look like this. I'll just use it as a jumping off place. I'll see something in this cloud, like I don't know if you can even see this with glare or anything. There's a lot of orange and blues both in that cloud. I see oranges, I see purples, I see some beautiful neutrals, and I love the way those look. So I'll try to do this without getting too garish, because that's a real temptation. Sunset can overdo it. But I did a little thumbnail too, because none of us can see that. But it's really important, I think, to do these beforehand. Because especially with the square canvas, it is so easy to get something right in the middle, which I'm going to avoid. And also, I want to make sure that these different areas are unequal, like the blue parts that surround the crowd are unequal, that these land masses are not all, mimicking each other. They don't get in the same plane. So just to create more interest. So if I just jump in and start painting, I promise you I'll put something in the middle. So I have to think about this ahead of time. So with these 2 references in mind, I'll start painting. And if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate just to shout them out. I'm here to answer. How many of you are painters? Yeah, I know a lot of you. It's so good to see you. So y'all feel free to ask any painting questions or equipment questions or anything like that.
Barbara, you mentioned that sunsets can get garish.
Yeah.
How many times I think we look at it as painters, we look at the sunset and think if I painted that, it would almost look cheesy.
Exactly.
You do such a beautiful job of getting richness of color, and I never looked at one and say sky or sunset and thought that was, that there was garish that would never cross my mind.
Oh, good. Well, I thank you. That's something to think about, because I know, you know how it is. You sometimes see something that is so beautiful in life, but you painted it. It would be like, ooh, you know, funny how that is. It's like, so I do try to get away from that. But, and then there's a little sweet spot too, because if you gray it down too much, it looks bad. You know, so if I have this bright yellow and it's too bright, like a little purple because it's a compliment, you know, to tone it down. Well, then I might, you know, I gotta be careful not to gray it down too much. I don't want it to look too dull, or too garish. So I'll tell you what I have on my palette. And right now, I love this color. It's a transparent brown oxide. And I'm just gonna, you know, tone it with that.
So far.
Isn't that nice? Amazing. This is the stage where people come up and go, what are you painting? You know, or at a wedding, I can see when I paint weddings and I start like this, and I can always see the, you know, the staff, the venue, they're walking by like, so anyway, and then sometimes people say, well, why don't you just take a big rag and just smear it all over? Well, and we thought, well, that makes perfect sense, but you know, it just kind of, it helps me just to put the brush on there a little bit and make a few marks and I don't know, get my muscles going, my painting muscles going. Okay. So, that kind of, you know, warms it up. And sometimes I like transparent oxide, it just blows through there, particularly with the sunset like that. But sometimes it can glow too much and be a little too bright. So I'm just going to make a few marks. Got my horizon line down low here. And, you know, I'm making up this marsh scene, which is really, it's an easy thing to do. And, can y'all hear me okay? I'm trying to I know. I'll try and project a little bit. You can see, like, you know, I want to do a little, maybe a little dynamic shape here with this angle instead of going straight across. These shapes are different sizes. You can see where the, if you can tell, where the blue, the negative space around it will be. Sometimes when I'm teaching, it's so tempting for me to paint. It's like I can talk, but I can't do that. Okay, I'm getting that horizon line in and just creating this part of this cloud. This one that I'm sort of basing this, and I'm just using it for really color, value, and one thing I love is you've got that silver lining effect, you know, that, and you've got that glow effect here. So it's been a little too stormy, you know, sometimes you have stormy clouds. I like stormy clouds, but sometimes people don't like it. Not that I'm painting just for everybody else, but feel good. So I've got this marshy area in here. Don't want to bring any of these really out too far, you know, to the middle. So I don't want this to land right there. I'll be pulling that back a little bit.
Barbara, if you're painting on a larger canvas, do you still use that smaller brush or is that just?
You know, probably just a little bit bigger, but I do use something smaller just to get some lines in at first. Yes, I can adjust as I go through a little bit more. Okay, and then, you know, sometimes I come back in here with this paper towel and do a little, you know, wiping out, little correction, or maybe just lifting out some paint to get some lights. Just remove some of the paint, get some lights in there. So I'll feel my arms jiggling. I always have to worry about what to wear. I'll never wear sleeveless shirts. And that's what I'm doing now, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So I just remind myself, by bringing in these lights too, where I want your eye to go. I want you to land up here. Focal point sort of up in this upper left-hand quadrant. You know, if you draw, for you artists, if you draw that tic-tac-toe, you want your focal point to be generally in those areas where the intersections are. So I'll have my strongest line, texture, and contrast color up in this area. Have the nice reflection down here for secondary focal point. Not really. This is a cotton blue, but it just doesn't pull off of there like with a linen. Okay, so now I'm going to move to my bigger brushes. And what I have on my palette, in addition to that transparent brown oxide, is a cad yellow lemon, a cad yellow medium, yellow ochre, and just for fun, this color is Persian rose. I'm going to just play with it. It is so beautiful. I mean, I won't lipstick this color. It is so pretty. It's Williamsburg Persian rose. And cad red light, and alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, sap green, viridian, titanium white, and then just for extra, this cadmium green, I just love it, and titanium buff, which is a good little color to have.
What was the last one?
Titanium buff. It's just sort of that a neutral, sort of a flaxseed colored, opaque color, of course, but it's nice for lighting things up, and it's a little warmer than your titanium. If you're going for lighter, but you don't want to cool it as much. You use a certain brand, and mostly England, and some Williamsburg, but yeah, mostly. And I do have another one, Richardson oil. I got this in a corporate convention a few years ago. Okay, and that Rembrandt, that transparent brown oxide Rembrandt. Okay, so first I'm gonna go in here and get the darks in, and your uprights. I know you painters know your upright areas of your trees and shrubs and even distant trees. They're going to be darker than other elements in your painting. So I'm just going to lay in roughly, very abstractly right now, just a little tree line back here in the white. And then where those marsh areas come into the reeds or places too, those are uprights too. And where they hit the water, they're going to be dark. So I'll just go ahead and indicate some darkness in it. And I'm just thinking of it right now as like big puzzle pieces. And then just develop those puzzle pieces as you go. I'm laying those darks in it. I'm not even really thinking about color very much more now right now. Although I'm picking up a little sap green just laying here. Okay, now with the cloud, I'm looking at the darkest areas. You know what makes a good neutral is viridian and transparent oxide brown. It's just and it will look totally different when it's up. Put it down. Oh, that's so dark. A little bit more. A little bit. Let them drop the shadow areas of the cloud.
So you made that gray out of viridian and transparent red?
And transparent brown.
Oh, brown.
Mm-hmm. And it leaned it a little towards the viridian. It is so funny, I wish I could see it. It looks so light from here on my palette. And then when I put it down, it looks so dark. And I found, and some of you have taken my skyscape classes before, and I lay in all the darks, and then go into the light. But one thing I found is I tend to lean dark, and so I don't want this super, super dark cloud. So if I put in the light area somewhere where I see the lightest light, maybe over in here, just go ahead and put a little brush mark somewhere. It just kind of, it gives me a little range, and I can judge my darks a little bit better. Does that make sense? You know, you just keep working in the dark, and it's like, and then I put that light down, it's like, oh my goodness, the whole thing, it seems to tend, towards dark too much. So I'll just go ahead and lay it with a light. And everything up here is gonna be down here. Everything, you know, at the top is gonna reflect in the water. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Christine Lashley, her work, or any of her videos, they're so good. If you want to get one of those videos, but she has one with water, and she talks about, you know, just judge that, like saying, let's say I want to see what's reflecting here. Well, it's that same distance here. So whatever I paint here is going to be here. So, just a little something to keep in mind. So that will land about right here. Right on here. I'll have some mixed up. Yeah, I don't have to be divided in the middle either. You see what I mean? The light and the dark. I got to think about that too. Because we got a straight line right down the middle there. So I will scoot some of this pattern side over just a little bit. And you also have to think about the shape of the cloud, y'all. You know, you don't want to end up with Buddy Rabbit or Mouse or body part. It's like, you just want to just be careful about that. It really is easy. Sometimes I feel like I always tend to make like a body, you know, like a head and arms, and so I have to see. I've done it a little bit. I've done it a little bit, but that is classic cruciform. So that, you know, design life works. And I'm just going to put in some of this blue, which is really in this photograph. I love it. Y'all see, it's not really blue. It's sort of, you know, it's just blue. So
What are you mixing to get that?
oh gosh, let's see, what did I do? I have that pearl still left from this, the dark, like transparent outside, and the sap green, and I put a little cerulean in with it. And then I just touched a little cat red light. Right next to the cloud. But that is the way, you know, I formed that cloud, not, as you can tell, not by painting in the sky and then paint the cloud on top of the sky, but paint the cloud shape and then carve the cloud shape out of the sky. And as the sky comes toward the horizon, it gets greener. There's this big band of sort of an aqua color. You know, you've got it, it's more violet up here, and then there's a big band right here. That is more of a greenish blue. Ooh, that's not greenish blue. And then it goes down into more oranges and yellows, with it landing on a sort of a mauve pink near the horizon. And you know, on a day like today, it's so clear and pretty. You probably tonight in the sun down, you'll be able to see that very well. And it always amazes me how beautiful it is to see that rainbow in the sky. So I'm going to come in here with that, bending it slightly more towards bluish aqua. You use a medium. I just got gas all in there. Every now and then I might use that solid food gel that Beverly makes. It's too thick. Now, this cloud has lots of orange in it, and that's where it gets scary, I think. No, I want to put that warmth in there, but I don't want it to, you know, scream at you. So, you know, let's see how we go.
What is your brush?
These are silver Bristline brushes. I love them. They're synthetic, and I'm mostly going to use flats in all different sizes. This one is a 6. kind of strong. But you know, it's one thing too, it's like as I paint these files, it ends up being like a little dance. I mean, I start painting it and I might be looking at this reference photo and then at some point I stop looking at the reference and I just start, you know, oh, okay, it's orangey over here. I think I need a little warmth over here to create a little glow. And then you sort of, you know, you quit looking at that reference and just it takes a life on a life. And I also think about the juxtaposition of complements that give it a glow. If I'm going to put an orangey tone next to a blue, a violet tone next to a yellow, you know, pink and green, if I put those together like mother of pearl effect, sort of, you know, got to be careful because you know you mix those, you get gray, right? So, but if I try to sit them next to each other in certain places, it, like this, I think that orangey next to that bluish, you know, then you start to get a little glow going. I'm holding this kind of in reserve here for that focal point, really. We'll wipe some of that off. And you know, sometimes you can really get some neat stuff just by wiping off. And things that occur that you can't get with painting it, you get this, that sheer quality, you know, in certain areas and just kind of don't want to paint over that, which, yeah, it sure is tempting, though, isn't it? Y'all do that? Okay, I'm dying to use some of this Persian rose in there somewhere. So pretty. So that is a little mix of that Persian rose. We have lemon.
Barbara, is the silver lining above the cloud still just the undertone?
That's undertone and that's undertone. There's a little white mix in there. But I think I will have in some yellow.
Do you ever decide to leave it undertone or kind of?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah. I always feel like in the back of my mind, somebody's going to go, well, she didn't paint that. I don't know.
It works, it works.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want that to look like it's just hitting the top of the canvas too. Like I want it to go off.
I've always heard that clouds are one of the hardest things. That's true.
You know, I don't think so. I think because you have so much liberty with them, you know, you can just make up your shapes and nobody knows. But it's tricky because I think you have to, thing is, and I've heard this before, but they look like flying rocks, you know, so you have to, and it's true, right? And when I first started painting, when I was playing air painting, that's what I would feel like I was painting flying rocks. And so I made it my mission to try and figure clouds out, and then I got hooked on clouds. And so I love painting them. And I think one of the keys is to keep your values really close, keep your edges, you know, watch those edges, and you want both hard edges and soft edges. And I think those are the two mistakes that beginners make most of all. They do all hard edges, so they look like floating rocks, or, you know, or cut out with a crystallized shape, or you think, oh, it's supposed to be soft, and all the edges are supposed to be soft and furry, and they end up looking like, you know, like a little handshake, really is what I say, because it doesn't have any punch to it at all. So you have to have sort of a blend of both. So look for ways like, okay, oh, I've got a hard edge here, and this edge is softer here. So as I go through near the end of the painting, I'll come back through and find places where I can really, you know, punch up a hard edge. I think those are the things that make it, you know, a difficult thing to paint, is trying to watch those edges.
Barbara, what about keeping the bottom of the cloud more or less darker than the top?
Yeah.
How important is that?
I think, you know, they vary so much. That is so funny to me. The more I look at them, you know, sometimes they're not like that at all. You could look out there right now and you see how it tends to go just a little bit darker on those cumulus clouds, you know, the base is a little bit darker. But hey, if it's about to storm, they're a lot darker. And then you have those that are kind of floating around up there. And I'm sure that looks good on Zoom. and, but they're not really, you know, not really dark on the base. So, you know, just observe it and see. And I think just resist the temptation to make it too dark if they're not. Because then again, you get those floating rocks. Let's see here. Still want to add color, but still being a little afraid to add color in the warm tones. Ooh, I'm going to get a little darker over here. You know, just observe them when you're out there, you know, as safely as you can without wrecking anything. You know, just observe. I remember one day I was going to work. I used to work in banking, and I was heading to work and I was looking at the sky, looking out big clouds, and I thought, what is it that, you know, I know very clearly that there's a division, you know, I can separate this from this. What is it, you know? And sometimes it's just color temperature shift. It's not a value shift. It's just, it goes from a little purple to a little red. And in your mind, when you see that division in the cloud, and you think it might be a value shift. That makes sense to you? But it's just a temperature shift. So I do watch for that too, trying to keep the values very close. And you know, if you want to learn more about paint clouds, I think one thing you can do is to paint a white still life. Just set up a bunch of cotton balls on a paper towel, you know, and it just makes you see the differences in what you perceive to be white. I mean, often it's not. If you look out there again, if you say, okay, well, but I'm painting plein air, I'll look out and say, what is the whitest thing that I see out here? And it's not the cloud. It's usually like a reflection in the truck over there, on the hood of that truck. It is bright white. So I compared that whitest thing. It's usually something man-made, you know, some painting, something, or reflection, something. And so I'll compare that to the cloud. And then you start to see, oh, the cloud is peach. It's not white. It's peach compared to that. Can you see it? If you look at the cloud directly above that 18-wheeler over there, right there, that is peach compared to any other white thing you do. So, you know, this helps you with your observation skills. I think that's the best tool for you when you learn to paint clouds. And right now, I'm still painting thinly, and we'll lay on more texture a little bit. This photograph too, I don't know if y'all ever take pictures of skies to paint, and I'll see this great cloud, and what's underneath it? The interstate, you know? Right? And so a lot of times I'll end up just using another photo reference for my land mass, or like this, just making something up. I mean, it's really easy to do with the marsh scene. And you look at paintings that other people have done, marshes, and inspired to, you know, just get a good composition of what's in opposite. Sometimes that division at the bottom of that cloud is pretty strong, sometimes not. And value-wise, I mean, I'm going to make up a little muddier pink, a little small pink, and sit down here close to the horizon. I know if y'all are painters, you've probably read John Paulson's book, Guy Valence that came, and he talked about all these different colors in the sky, and how it does get, you know, when you get to the horizon line, you get this atmospheric stuff, you get this stuff that creates that sort of huge, decimal look at the horizon. But, just keep those things in mind. I wrote them on my shot box sometimes, just the varying levels of in the sky, because it gets sort of an orangey down here. And sometimes I can't see it, but I'll paint it that way. And like I said, sometimes I can see it very clearly, like a clear night, you can absolutely see it. But sometimes, like on a day like today, I can't quite see it. Okay, I'm going to change some of the land part a little bit. You know, things get grayer and bluer as they recede, so I'm going to tone down. Still dark, but it's not as warm and not as dark as the thing in the foreground. And initially, you know, it's just, I just put it straight, really a straight line. So as I go through and work into it a little bit more, I'm going to want to break up that space, create some interest with some, you know, a little height here, a little color shift there, that kind of thing. So that maybe it looks like some tree masses are coming forward. But it's a little less saturated as you go on in the distance too. So that little dance right there, just lighten it up, grade it up a little bit. But usually always you'll find that little dark space. That's the tree line. Now I'm going to mix up a little, something lighter, a value step up for the ground plane, really this situation of a marshy plane. I like it. I think that's supposed to be, if I got some focus in here. Got this in the let's go. Great. What I'm looking for right now, I don't, you know, like I talked about earlier, I don't want to come in here, whittle that down a bit. I don't want to see these are almost identical, you know, and I don't want these to look identical. I don't want these to be identical. So I'm going to go in here and vary that up a little bit. I should look at my sketch, right? That's what I did. More of an angle sketch. Sit in your lap. Okay. My studio is so small, it's hard to stand back and look at everything, which is what you should do. So you can look at the view of it. I always end up taking it all around the house. looking in the mirror and stuff. You know, looking in the mirror is a really great tool to see how it's coming. I'm looking at the sky, what's reflecting up here. That little band of blue. And then it just gets a little muddier purple. And down. From here, it's reflected here. One thing I like to see is put in, you know, I always been thinking about it's kind of texture, maybe some art making or kind of, but I brought it with me, but I don't know if y'all ever use my Jerry's Artorama makes this, it's called the Jumbo Jet Black oil-based pencil that you can use, and I love it so much in there. And make these marks with it, just to add some interest to it. But I'm making up a little puddle here of a peachy light color that I can put down in that focal point area. Over here. Lay on the palette knife. With the texture. And then take a brush and kind of feather, pull away from it. Leave that texture and put it on it. Usually when you put something on the palette knife, you gotta work with it somehow. You know, sometimes you look at a photograph, I know y'all can see this up close, there's like the middle, like the bubbly part. You know, but you can actually see the edge. It's not as strong as the outline, of course, but you can see these little nuances, little separations in there. That is what I work towards when I, you know, get closer to finishing it. I want to look for those little places where I can, like, come in here, for example, just the slightest lighter value and create a real edge. And you know, later on, I'll come up with this photograph and look, you can see it more painting, but you can see it in this, you know, you see what I mean? Those little bitty shifts in there. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for, I think.
Barbara, what is your lightest point, brightest place?
The lightest paint, brightest paint, right there. Try and make that the focal point. It's a light orangey or I just love when you make up these words, purplier and orangier. Oh, it's orangier in this photograph than what I'll be painting. Just kind of like I said, I'm trying to steer away from it being really wide, so strong. But still, I want it to have that glow.
Is that a square?
It's a square, it's a 16 by 16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pop in some of that, this silver line I see in this photo around some of these areas here. If I can paint it thick, like, so this is a big brush, so this is a thick. And but not leave it, but come back in this cloud color, paint up to it. for like, I've got a big old mess on my palette, all kinds of stuff to choose from. So you can see I'll just pull out some of that in places. And paint up to that little edge, making it a little bit of a sharper, more narrow edge. And I could have done it with a little brush, but I like to use it this way. Or paint or anything. Like that.
Or would you paint the other day?
Yeah, pretty much. I do. I love it. Even if it's just like one of those small ones, you know, but. You know, Mary and I were talking about how, about we telling her in the, there she is. A lot of y'all think of it, of course, now, so you've heard my little story, but some of you haven't, right? But I majored in art, and that's all I ever wanted to do was be an artist. But you know, you have to do other things if you want to make a living sometimes. And you know, when you're 24 years old, so I did, and ended up working at a bank. Great job, but it's not my heart, my passion, right? And I just always, this is all I ever wanted to do full time. And so, and honestly, I was always asking John, my husband, John, do you think I can quit? Do you think I can quit? It's like, no, we need your insurance, you know, all that stuff. And so, all that money and insurance. So I just kept doing what I did and do it on the side. And I turned 40 in 2004, and I think that was pivotal because I thought, you know, if I'm ever going to do it, it's not going to fall in my lap. Right? So anyway, I had to do the artist magazine with me. There was an article in there about painting, so I thought that is the way I want my things to look. That's how I want to think. So when I get home, I'm going to get a French easel. I'm going to start painting, and I did. And then I was hooked, y'all. I was hooked, and I got better. And I'm telling you, plein air painting to me is the secret to it all. Painting from life and painting outside. And so not only was I hooked, but I started getting creative and working in some galleries. And then I won some awards and things like that in local art shows. So it's just the confidence that I needed to think, I can do this, you know, I think I can make a living at it. And so worked at the bank. So I made a secret little account that John didn't know anything about. I put all my money in that. All my money in that account. And so I put it and all that stuff. And so then at the same time still every other week. And so then 1 year, it was, I think I've been doing that about 3 or 4 years. And so it was 4th of July, I'll never forget, 2008. And I said, do you think I could quit? And he said, well, let me tell you. He said, I see what you made, you know, versus the time that you put into it. So when you say this much, you quit. And I said, well, today's not lucky day. I thought he was going to pull the car off the road. He was like, are you kidding me? And I said, because he didn't know. I mean, I could just have a statement come to my desk, you know. He had no clue. So then, quit. And I was like, no, I'm scared. So then in September, then of course, stock market crashed. And everything went crazy. I'm working in the bank, of course, and I'm like, I'm not quitting. And so I went another year, and then I went part-time. And so then, after about a year of that, I was like, I can't keep up with it anymore because it was just really growing. And so I had to quit, and everything's been fine. But it's a funny story, I think, the way it all evolved. You know, I think it's never going to happen. I hope it gives somebody hope in that situation. If you know a fledgling artist out there that you can encourage with that. It's been fun. We had so much fun. And John was like, I should have told him to quit years ago. He has fun too. He loves to go. He says it's the most fun because he gets to do so many things. He goes so many places with the art stuff, you know, and meet so many people and he wouldn't have met before either. So he enjoys it. He's my best buddy. He helps me haul this stuff around.
While we're talking about your painting weddings, people may not know.
That's right. I love it. And John helps me with that too. But about, gosh, I think it was in 2010, I had somebody call me and say, have you ever painted weddings? saw in 7-Eleven that this person was taking the wedding. I wonder if you'd be interested in taking the wedding. So I said, if you're willing to, give me a shot, I will. So I did, y'all, and it was like gangbusters. I go and paint live events, go paint the reception while it's going on, or paint the wedding ceremony while it's going on. Usually it's the reception. And it's been great because I've got my perfect market right here. I've got the bridesmaids and groomsmen and their friends, and they just, oh, can I get a card? Can I get my card? And it just balloons and snowballs, and now I'm busy all the time. But it is so much fun just to go and be a part of that and paint. As people come in, I'll get there early and paint the back. Like if I was painting this before y'all got here, I would have painted the tables, the flowers, and all this pretty things and taking pictures. And then as everybody starts to come in, then I'll just add people. But I put head size on it too before everybody gets there. I'll paint little circles so that I don't accidentally get the bride ring like big giants and all these little people standing down. So I've learned things like that along the way, what my tendencies are. You think about the starring couple, right? You want to make them bigger, and you don't even think about it. So I learned off of that, with those little heads down there, so I can get the right size and get the proportions right. But it's so much fun. And the people I've met doing it, oh, they're just so sweet. And families come back to do the other members of the family when they got married. And other things, I've had a lot of opportunities to, like I painted the governor's inauguration when she was lieutenant governor, and then at her inaugural ball. And that was my fun. So corporate events and stuff, and some things over at Auburn. It's a lot of fun. Kids go to a lot of parties, I did one at the Grand this past weekend. Tim Cook asked me about my phone. He knows what to do. It is. You know what has helped me is plain entertainment too. It's plain entertainment that helped me to be able to do it so fast, and it also helped me with interacting with people as I paint, because when you're outside, if any of y'all are plain entertainment, people will come up and chat with you all the time, and so you kind of get used to breaking your concentration for a little while, so you can keep doing it. But I do a lot of little quick sketches of people, little gesture sketches. So when I first started doing it, I was so nervous about doing it. So on Saturday morning on QVC, I realized they had their little clothes shows, so they bring some of these girls and so I sit there with my sketchbook and try and sketch them in as quick as I could. They might strike a little pose like this or something. I'm trying to get them as fast as I could in the sketchbook. So that's what I'll look for out there.
So the bride's dress is.
Now that I'll take a picture of. I'm too smart. When I first started doing it, I would always get in a place where I could see the first dance, and honestly, I was painting like a jackrabbit, trying to get it as fast as I could, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna take a picture. I can do that. It's okay. It's not against the artist law, So I'll just take a little quick shot with my phone, and if a mom or dad come up and I'm afraid I'll lose them in the crowd. And this time I don't know them, so if Sister Susie comes up and I'm like, are you a sister, are you a brother? And if you are, I'm going to get your picture and I'm going to paint you in for sure. So, because I just don't know. And, but there's something you said that made me think, oh, I was going to tell you the story of this little boys. I was painting a wedding and they wanted me to paint in. And so I said, okay, y'all go stand out here. Well, they stood out there. One of them had a can of Coke and he was standing there like and the other one was like in mid-sentence. So it just was the cutest little pose, So I painted them in and I didn't think anything about it. And I'm still painting. I turned around about 15 minutes later. There's so I'm a good babysitter. Just comes right there. They were so cute. You have the funniest stories, and these little girls, one time, this little girl, she told me she would like me to paint her with, she came up with this beautiful white hand sundress, and she said, would you paint me with red fingernails, please? And I said, well, I don't know if your mama would like that. And she said, okay, just red lips. So cute. And, you know, I mean, oh, y'all, things that have happened, like, the stories I could tell, like, this bride that her wedding dress, the wrong one was delivered. And it was we were in Pike Road, right outside of Montgomery, and her wedding dress was in Memphis. And she babysat for some people who were coming down in their own plane. And so the bridal gown place was able to run her dress to the airport, meet these people, and they brought it down. And the wedding was postponed about maybe 15 minutes. But she had her makeup all done and everything because she was so upset. Bless her heart. But, gosh, the things that happen, mostly all good, but I mean, and good comes from some of this bad stuff. There was one where there was a huge thunderstorm. I mean, huge, like we were under its tent. And there was hail, there was upholstered furniture that they had removed, food outside under the other tree. And hail comes out, electric dance floor, and, oh, no, it was horrible. It was thunderstorm. It was at Sterling Hall in Selma. And they couldn't accommodate the electricity in the band. So the band in there, they just had their cameras, you know, whatever. And so they did what they could for this little couple. It was the sweetest thing. I mean, honestly, I can't believe I'm talking about it without crying, because I usually do when I talk about it. It was so sweet. And but they played, you know, what they could. And they just make it. It was just so sweet to see that whole group of friends and family just rallying around and trying to make the night what they wanted it to be. So sweet. Just putting it, you see this area over here? I don't want this to be too boring. I want it all to be, you know, the same. And I don't want that all just to be isolated right there, all that yellowy orange. So just in some places, just so it's not just over there by itself. So that's what I'm talking about with the dance, like with cloud. I put something in there. It pops out to me like a little sore thumb, it's too red. So I just put in something to tone it down, lighten it up a little bit. Sometimes you just put something on there and it's just, you know, right away, oh, that's not gonna work. So just, so there's a little bit of that peachy color. And sometimes you put it on the underside and it creates that, you know, that glow, that from underneath that glow. I'll take a 4 o'clock bill, but I'll make sure. Oh, goodness. You hate standing up all the time? You know what? I perch. I prefer to stand, but my chiropractor really doesn't like me to do that. I have this tall stool, and I tend to kind of just, you know, just sort of perch up on it. And
So I was thinking at the wedding.
yeah, I stand up the whole time. Really? When I'm there, yeah. I'll tell you what, you feel it there after a few hours of that. But you done it time. It was me like, I find out in pain, like, I feel fine, I'm on pain, I'll get tired. But I mean, when I'm done and I sit down, I'm like, you know, you don't realize it until you're moving through. You just put that done, then you don't realize you're tired or hungry or anything. I'm doing now, I'm mixing up a little something, come back in with this sky. And, you know, it'll be darker on this side, because obviously the sunlight or the, you know, it's behind that cloud. Then it goes on that side, so I'm gonna make it a little darker. This side. Create a little interest there, break up that shape just a little bit. Feel like it needs some blue. I know that the blue would probably be reflected like way down here, you know, if the paint was longer. But I do feel like some blue is needed somewhere. And they use these tools. I don't know if y'all use these tools, but I love them like the, like some, something like this, or y'all draw them a roller, a brayer that you can soften some edges, but some of this may stay on here, and I may paint over some of that. It's not information, but sometimes I'll drag it and drag it across, and it starts to sort of look like linen or a fabric or something there. Sometimes I go, oh, come back and fix it. That's how it goes.
Martha, are you painting on linen?
It's cotton, cheap cotton, that too. I do prefer linen though, the Centurion old time linens, that's the one that I really love.
Have canvas has gone up a lot.
It has, that, even the Centurion is just, it's crazy. And why is that? I don't know.
It's such strange things.
Right, because some things don't, we don't have. I had to order some big ones, a few weeks ago, and I was shocked. It was like, gosh, well, I think it was 24 by 30. I want to say it was close to $100. Right. It might be the same, but it was, what it, not what it used to be at all. Honestly. Yeah.
I didn't hear what kind of canvas.
The Centurion old one. Thank you.